steps for the OINP. So Ontario immigration program is undergoing a significant overhaul as of mid-2025. Changes introduced under the Working for Workers 7 Act signal a shift in how the province selects, processes, and approves nominees. These changes aim to increase efficiency, respond more closely to labor market needs, and tighten program integrity. If you're applying for or planning to apply, knowing what's changed can make all the big difference. So what has changed? These are the ones that we're gonna discuss now. Here are the major updates. Number 1, employer-initiated process for employer job offer stream. So previously, many streams under the OINP were more applicant-initiated. Candidates would express interest or the EOI, then if selected, involve the employer. Now, the employer must begin the process. Before an applicant can even register their EOI, the employer has to submit a valid job offer through the new employer portal. Number 2, new employer portal. The new digital system replaces much of the old paper-based application for approval of an employment position. Features includes secure uploads, more structured timelines, better monitoring, the ability to manage authorized contacts, etc. Number 3 is tighter and more structured timelines. Employer, after the EOI is selected, the employer has 14 calendar days to submit the job offer via the portal. For the applicant, once the invitation is issued, the applicant then has 17 calendar days to submit their full application and pay the required fees. Missing these deadlines will mean losing the opportunity and having to restart the process. Number 4 is the authority to return applications. Before nomination issued, Ontario now has the power to return applications, even if they meet eligibility criteria before issuing a nomination. This means that even if you think your application checks all the boxes, it could still be returned with full fee refund for reasons such as provinces' nomination quotas being met, or because your application doesn't align with current labor market or the priorities. Number 5 is the in-person interviews may be required. This is the new one right now. To strengthen credibility and integrity of the applications, both employers and foreign national applicants might be asked to attend in-person interviews. Accommodations will be made where needed. Number 6, education requirement adjustments for early childhood educators. So for certain streams, like for the human capital priorities or French-speaking skilled worker, with the NOC 42202 or the early childhood educators and assistants, the minimum education requirements has been eased if the applicant is a member of the College of Early Childhood Educators. Number 7 is changing streams based on the labor market needs and program integrity. Ontario can now establish or remove nomination streams depending on evolving provincial labor market priorities. So even if a stream existed earlier, it may be paused or removed in response to the province's needs. So what to do now? What to do? How to adapt if you're applying now? Because there's a lot of changes happening right now for the OINP since I started. So if you're considering applying for the OINP now or are already partway through the process, here's what you should do to adapt to the changes. Number 1 is collaborate with your employer early. Since the employer must initiate the job offer step, make sure your employer understands and is ready to use the new employer portal. They'll need to create a job offer before you can register the EOI. So don't wait. Number 2 is get the details right in advance. Employers will be more scrutinize. Be clear about the position's NOC code, job title, duties, wages, required education, location, etc. Make sure both parties, you and your employer, agree before submitting any applications. Watching the deadlines carefully. That's number 3. The new timelines are strict. Once you get the job offer or the invitation, count the days. Employer has only 14 days and you have only 17 days. Missing them means restarting. So you have to be very careful with the timelines. Number 4 is prepare for possible interviews. Since in-person interviews are now possible, make sure you can respond if asked. Keep supporting documents up to date and be ready. Number 5 is check your eligibility under adjusted rules if you're an early childhood educator. Having the NOC 42202, find out if you're a member of the College of Early Childhood Educators that could waive some education requirements. Number 6, be aware of your application returns. Be aware of your application returns. Even if your application seems solid, there's some risk it could be returned before nomination. Be ready for that possibility. Understand that your application needs to align with what Ontario needs at the time. The labor gaps, quotas, or etc. And number 7, stay informed about stream availability. Because Ontario can open or close streams based on labor market needs. So double check that the stream you want is currently open and monitor announcements. Number 8, plan ahead and manage expectations. Given these tighter timelines, increased scrutiny, and discretionary powers, things may move more slowly or unpredictably. It's wise to plan for backup options and be realistic about timing. So, in conclusions of all of these changes we have now for the OINP, the Ontario's changes to the immigrant nominee program represent a shift toward a more employer-driven labor market, aligned and integrity-focused system. For applicants, it means more coordination, stricter deadlines, and potentially more uncertain, but also clear structures. If you're serious about applying, start conversation with your employer immediately. Confirm eligibility in light of the updates and prepare documentation and credentials like your licensing, membership in professional bodies ahead of time. Stay alert to changes. Ontario is explicitly giving itself leeway to change which streams are open or what the priorities are. So these are all the changes that happens right now for the OINP. I hope you learned something and thank you for watching my videos.